You hatch from an egg into complete darkness, and your first meal is waiting somewhere in your mother's fur. There is no bottle, no teat, no conveniently positioned nipple offering clear instructions to an animal whose eyes are still sealed shut. Your mother has mammary glands. She produces milk. She is unquestionably a mammal. She simply releases that milk directly through patches of skin on her abdomen. It collects in grooves and clings to the surrounding fur. You must press your tiny bill against her belly and swallow whatever you can find. This is not the only unusual part of your beginning. You are hairless, helpless, and small enough to fit comfortably inside a human palm. You have hatched from a soft, leathery egg in an underground chamber beside a river. Your mother has sealed much of the tunnel behind her with plugs of wet soil and vegetation. Outside, the water contains fish, turtles, and hunting birds. The riverbank contains snakes, goannas, foxes, and other animals that would consider a newborn platypus less of an evolutionary wonder and more of a very small lunch. You cannot swim. You cannot see. You cannot regulate your own life with any noticeable level of competence. Yet over the next several months, you must transform into a waterproof electroreceptive hunter, able to find prey with your eyes, ears, and nostrils closed. And you must do it by drinking milk from a mother who has no nipples. This is the story of how a baby platypus survives one of the strangest childhoods in the mammal world. Your story begins before the egg exists. Your mother lives along a freshwater river, creek, or lake in eastern Australia. Most nights, she slips into the water and searches the bottom for insect larvae, worms, freshwater shrimp, and other small animals. When she dives, folds of skin close over her eyes and ears, and her nostrils seal. Fortunately, her bill carries specialized receptors. Some detect touch and pressure. Others detect weak electrical activity produced by living prey. A shrimp moving beneath gravel creates information. The riverbed is not invisible. It is electrically outlined. She sweeps her bill from side to side, gathers prey into cheek pouches, and returns to the surface to chew. Adult platypuses have no normal teeth. They crush food between tough grinding pads while looking as though a duck, a beaver, and an otter were assembled by a committee that refused to communicate. During the breeding season, a male approaches her in the water. If she accepts him, mating takes place. Then he leaves the childcare entirely to her. He will not build the nursery, incubate the eggs, or collect nesting material. Your mother handles everything alone. After mating, she begins preparing a special nesting burrow. This is not the ordinary resting tunnel she might use throughout the year. It is longer, more complex, and designed to protect eggs and young. She digs into the riverbank using strong front claws until the tunnel ends in a nesting chamber. Then she collects wet leaves and reeds, curls them beneath her tail, and drags them underground. The vegetation helps maintain humidity around eggs that could be damaged if they dry out. She also creates several compact plugs of soil along the tunnel. These barriers may help stabilize temperature and humidity. They may slow predators. They may also make the nursery smell less like a room containing an exhausted mother and several edible miracles. Then your egg begins its short journey through her body. A platypus is a monotreme, an ancient branch of mammals whose living members lay eggs. Milk still makes her a mammal, although her delivery system appears to be an early prototype. After a brief gestation, she lays a small clutch, usually 1 or 2 eggs. Each egg is roughly the size of a large grape and covered by a flexible, parchment-like shell. You are curled inside one of them. Your mother wraps her body around the clutch. She holds the eggs between her belly and broad tail, keeping them warm inside the nest. For roughly 10 days, your world is an egg inside a burrow inside a riverbank. Unfortunately, you must still escape the innermost layer. As hatching approaches, you are equipped with temporary tools. An egg tooth, a bump on your snout, and tiny front claws help you break through the shell. You press, the shell bends, you scrape and push until a tear appears. Air reaches you, then the egg opens. You emerge wet, pink, and almost entirely unfinished. There is no soft coat. Your eyes remain closed, your limbs are weak. Your bill is short and fleshy rather than the broad sensory instrument it will become. You may be described as a puggle, although researchers often prefer nestling for a young platypus still developing inside the nursery burrow. Whatever name is chosen, none of them changes your immediate problem. You're hungry. For most young mammals, the solution would involve locating a nipple and attaching to it. Your mother has decided to remove the locating stage, the attaching stage, and the nipple itself. Beneath the fur on her abdomen are 2 mammary areas. Milk moves through ducts and emerges from openings in the skin. It spreads across shallow grooves and gathers on the fur. You press your mouth and bill against her belly, then you lap and swallow. This is nursing without a target. There's no single point to grip. Milk appears across warm skin and fur, and you take it from the surface. You do not need elegant plumbing. You need calories. Platypus milk is extremely rich, containing far more solid material than ordinary cow's milk. It supplies fat and protein for rapid growth, along with components that help defend you from microbes. That protection matters because your meal crosses skin, fur, and nesting material before entering your mouth. It travels across a furry biological serving tray. Monotream milk contains specialized antimicrobial proteins that help control bacteria while supporting a hatchling whose immune system is still developing. Your mother is not merely feeding you, she is delivering energy, building material, and chemical protection through the same secretion. For the first part of your life, milk is everything. It becomes skin, it becomes muscle. It becomes the dense coat that will later trap air and protect you in cold water. It helps form the nerves and receptors inside your growing bill. Day after day, you remain in darkness while your body assembles the equipment of an aquatic predator. Your mother spends long periods curled around you, but she cannot remain underground forever. Producing rich milk requires energy, and energy must be found in the river. Eventually, she squeezes through the tunnel, enters the river, and begins hunting. You remain behind, the burrow remains stable, but you still depend on the nest and the warmth left behind. You cannot follow her at this stage. Attempting to swim would be less a lesson and more a brief disappearance downstream. So you wait. Hours pass, hunger builds, then vibrations travel through the soil. Your mother returns, squeezing through the tunnel and bringing the smell of river water into the chamber. Milk begins collecting on her belly again. You crawl toward it. As you grow, your mother's workload increases. She must feed herself, avoid predators, maintain the burrow, and produce enough milk for one or more rapidly enlarging young. Every gram added to your body began as prey she found in the river. Motherhood has turned the local invertebrates into a construction supply company. Weeks pass underground. Your eyes open. Your limbs strengthen. Your bill widens and becomes more sensitive. True teeth appear temporarily, although they will be lost around the time you begin eating solid food and replaced functionally by grinding pads. Most importantly, fur spreads across your body. A platypus coat is not decorative. Thousands of hairs trap air close to the skin and reduce heat loss in cold water. Your body must therefore solve a difficult sequence. First grow fur, then grow strong enough to swim, then develop the senses needed to hunt without seeing, then leave the only safe place you have ever known. The burrow that protected you is slowly becoming crowded. Your sibling occupies space with the confidence of an animal who has never paid rent. Limbs overlap. Your mother is now feeding increasingly solid mammals. She also begins spending longer periods away foraging. Milk still supports you, but the world outside is approaching. After roughly 3 to 4 months, you are fully furred, well-coordinated, and already close to adult length. Your first swimming lesson will not involve a shallow nursery pool or trained instructor. One day, you follow the tunnel toward unfamiliar air. The ground slopes. The smell changes. Ahead, light enters through the burrow opening. For the first time, you see the river. It moves. Until now, water arrived only on nesting material or your mother's fur. Now an entire current stretches before you. You enter. Cold water presses through the outer hairs of your coat but does not easily reach the skin beneath. Your webbed front feet push backward. Your tail helps stabilize your body. You float. Then you dive. Instinct provides movement, not experience. The current shifts you sideways like a waterproof glove inside a washing machine. You return to the surface and breathe. Then you try again. Underwater, your eyes, ears, and nostrils close. The river disappears in the ordinary sense, but your bill touches the water. Pressure receptors detect movement. Electroreceptors register tiny signals from living animals. Somewhere beneath the gravel, an insect larva contracts its muscles. You turn toward it. You push your bill into the bottom, scoop mud, and store whatever you collect inside cheek pouches. At the surface, you attempt to chew. There is gravel. There is mud. There may also be food. Early hunting is a sorting exercise conducted in permanent swimming flippers. You will not master it immediately. A shrimp escapes. A worm remains hidden. A current moves the signal before you reach it, but each dive teaches you how electrical and mechanical information fit together. Milk built the sensory system. Practice teaches you how to use it. Your mother may continue nursing you during this transition, but dependence is ending. The river contains dangers the burrow kept outside. A snake may enter the water. A goanna may patrol the bank. Foxes, cats, and dogs may attack platypuses on land or near the water's edge. Discarded fishing line and enclosed traps can turn a feeding route into a fatal obstacle. Extraordinary mammals drown just as efficiently as ordinary ones when trapped underwater. Survival now depends on caution, strong swimming, and the ability to find enough food each night. Eventually, you stop returning to your mother for milk. The skin patches that fed you are no longer necessary. You hunt for yourself. So how did you survive when your mother had no nipples? You survived because nipples were never the essential invention. Milk was. Your mother produced it through specialized mammary glands and released it directly onto abdominal skin and fur. The milk built an unfinished hatchling into a fur-covered swimmer and carried antimicrobial protection into a damp nest. Your mother sealed you inside a stable nursery, warmed your egg, and repeatedly returned from the river to feed you. You did not attach to a teat. You attached your entire early life to her presence. Yes, it is strange to be a baby platypus. You begin as an egg laid by a mammal. You hatch with temporary teeth, drink milk from fur, and spend months underground preparing to hunt electricity in a river. Your mother possesses a bill, webbed feet, a beaver-like tail, and a feeding system that appears to have been designed before mammals agreed on standard equipment. But there's beauty too. In the darkness of the burrow, milk beads across her warm skin. Your tiny bill presses into her fur. The body that hatched pink and blind slowly disappears beneath a waterproof coat. Your eyes open. Your claws strengthen. The soft bill at the front of your face becomes an instrument capable of sensing life beneath stones. Then the tunnel opens. Cold water surrounds you. Your mother dives ahead and vanishes below the surface. For a moment, only rings of water remain. You close your eyes, you close your ears, you close your nostrils. The river should become empty. Instead, it comes alive. A faint electrical pulse flickers beneath the gravel. Your bill turns toward it. For months, food came through your mother's skin. From now on, you must find it in the dark.